Hello, welcome to the Sports Box, where the only opinion that matters.
Keep getting these things.
Up yours. It's right here. I am Mike Galetta, a.k.a. Hamilton Mike, along with my partner, Brian, the Ranger Retard. Brian, how are you?
I am fantastic. If you want to really know how I am,
Catch us where can you catch that, Brian?
Let me tell you how happy I am right now. Our subscriber count is just booming through the roof right now, so we want to thank you. Thank you very much for your support. If you're not subscribed to the Sports Box, join the party. It's really easy. Hit subscribe now in the top right. But we're also on Facebook at Sports Box Show. We're on Twitter at Sports Box Show. We are everywhere. So make sure you're following us because we're getting the news to you. We're getting these great content to you any which way we can. We appreciate the support.
Like flies on poopy. And remember, the advertiser, our advertiser, DJ Cruz, a.k.a. Anthony Cruz, for all your DJ needs, give him a call, 609-513-6395. Today is Series 2 of our Coaches Who Dismissed, Coaches Who Are Fired, whatever.
The winds of change have hit San Francisco.
Exactly. The winds of change. We are on a nice little stroll out of California to talk about Chip Kelly and why he was gone from the 49ers. So, who do we get on the line? This man's hot. He gives us all the information in San Francisco. He's almost like Rice-A-Roni because he's a San Francisco treat. Let's get him over here. Anthony Fano. Anthony.
Andy.
What's up, Mike? What's up,
You know what? I got to screw up a name every now and then. But Andy, what's going on, pal?
Not much. It's gray out here in California. There's no snow at all. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Sun's out, the Christmas tree's down. We're ready for the new year.
Yeah, up yours, Andy. Even though we're getting 3 inches out here.
We'll just send you some. That's fine.
We'll send you some in the box.
Yeah.
That's no problem. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
So Andy, I'm sure you were looking forward to this conversation with us about your boy Chip Kelly out in 1 year. What can you think, in your mind, was the big sticky point why he's gone from San Francisco?
Well, I will say on a side note, I think Brian the Ranger predicted that this was going to happen and it wasn't going to last very long.
Yeah, don't make his head any bigger than it is,
I will
Andy.
throw that out there first and foremost.
I appreciate that.
He's gone, and Balky's gone too. So I mean, I don't think they made good decisions. They had the most, I think the most or the second most available in the cap when the league started. They couldn't sign big time players like Josh Norman, and they just didn't get it done. The personnel wasn't there, the chemistry wasn't there. And, it was going to take some time to develop, but I'm kind of glad they went in a different direction, and it didn't look like even long term it was going to work, even though it didn't work short term either. For obvious reasons, Kaepernick's probably not going to be a 49er. Everybody probably knows that. And so I think, with the new quarterback coming in, a new, head coach, general manager, everybody kind of being all brand new, I think it's probably a good turnaround for the franchise, and not that it can get much worse.
Yeah, Andy, the good news is, I see your beautiful daughter on Facebook all the time, so congratulations, that's awesome. But the bad news is your football team's an abject failure. So you take a look at how they finished the year. They finished 32nd in the league in passing yards. There's 32 teams. They finished 30th in the league in points against. There's 32 teams, and that probably led to Chip Kelly's early demise. They're going to have a very high pick in this draft. We've seen teams with those high picks. You look at what Tennessee was able to do. You look at what the Browns were able to do, where they're able to sell those picks for extremely, extremely high, exorbitant, blackmail-type prices to other teams that need a quarterback. If you were the one making the GM decisions, which apparently you could be because there's nobody doing it right now, where would you go? Would you go and try to get an impact player very high in this draft, maybe go quarterback, maybe go elsewhere? Or would you rather see them just continue blowing it up? Trade down, stockpile picks, and build something longer term?
Well, I think, traditionally, like I said, usually we do grab better draft picks. I probably think, just with the past couple of years of history, it seems like that number 2 pick is going to be worth really, really a lot of value to somebody. I don't know if it's worth more to the other teams than it is to San Francisco, but it's a tough decision for anybody to make, I'm sure, because there's not one position or one player that's going to ultimately turn it all around. I don't know if the franchise quarterback coming out of this draft. I don't know if there's anybody to that level. But obviously there's hype, and we'll see what happens on Monday with the Clemson game. That should be interesting to watch as well.
That's right.
I think that there's a lot of good prospects coming out. Like it's one player, I don't think is going to make a big difference. So I think that we might be able to leverage and stockpile draft picks, or maybe even get a veteran player that's proven himself to come in and and let one of the other teams worry about hopefully hitting that lottery of that second pick, which holds a lot of weight.
I think what did Chip Kelly in the most, and a lot of people thought he was getting his second year there, I think it was just the awful season they had. I mean, they had a bunch of leads in games. They were up 14 points on the Jets before and blew that at home. There was a lot of games that really Chip Kelly blew that he didn't. That never happened like that when he was in Philadelphia. I mean, he made some mistakes in Philadelphia, but he was really taking a step back in San Francisco. I mean, could you really pinpoint one thing, Andy, that they looked at? Was it because that the Niners really didn't have a direction, and like you said, really don't have a player on this team that they really can count on, or was it just the bungling of Chip Kelly?
Yeah, I mean, they lost Ayupati, they lost Alex Boone. I mean, they had a lot of offensive line problems. I actually just read yesterday after I talked to you, I said, man, I better brush up on the most current news. And, out of the candidates that I saw that they were talking to, Tom Cable, the offensive line coach for the Seattle Seahawks, who also, I guess, was a former coach for the Oakland Raiders. Yep. Evidently there's a good chance that he might want to come back to the Bay Area and if not be the head coach, maybe an offensive coordinator spot. But I believe he was one of the top candidates that I liked that I saw was interviewing for the head coach job as soon as Monday.
Yeah, you take a look at really, so the 49ers were 0-14 against teams not named the LA Rams. That's not really a great statistic.
Believe it, the Sports Box show is not scripted. I know it's hard to believe, but we are not scripted.
We actually normally do these shows on one take. Actually, we're gonna have a bit of a blooper reel coming out to show you the couple times that we don't. So keep an eye out for that.
Well, I saw a couple frustrating pictures of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans sitting next to you, Brian.
Oh, did you? Yeah, no.
The video was a little bit censored. It should have been, but we got contacted by the FCC for that. But that's okay.
I'm sure it has to get toned down a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little. I took a Xanax before that show. But anyway, let's get back to your Niners. Okay, go ahead, Brian.
So the one thing that I think summarizes this season to me is Jed York or I think it was Jed York, the owner. I forget who the owner was. I apologize. I don't know his name off the top of my head. But they had there was a press conference where one of the reporters asked him if he should be fired. He said, "We don't fire the owner." Clearly, there's a lot of angst there with the fan base. I think Jim Harbaugh leaving has really just left a void there. What do you think they do here with this coach? Because whoever's going to take this job over is walking into a garbage fire. So what is it that, like, if you're trying? I mean, first of all, should they go offense or defense with their new head coach? For one, which way do you think they should go on that? And secondly, would you rather it be an established guy who's coached in the league before, or would you rather be a fresh face that this might be their first opportunity?
No, that's the easier question. I'd rather be somebody that's established and has a little bit of history. There's good quality coaches out there. I'm sure they want to get paid, especially to come take over a little bit of a mess that they're coming into. But that's definitely a more experienced, and I would probably say offensive. I think looking over the past 3 years, if I was to look at the tail off of the defense and the offense on the Niners, I think the defense more suffered by injuries and just stupid mistakes, getting in trouble with the law and with off the field mistakes, and also guys retiring like Patrick Willis. I mean, Borland retired. Bowman got hurt. The past couple, 2 out of 3 years, the last 2 years. Alden Smith now not even on the roster. I mean, these guys were. Alden Smith was a top 9 player in the NFL a couple of years ago. Yeah. So I mean, I think the personnel kind of hurt the defense more so than the coaching. And I think the coaching needs to be on the offense because, I mean, when you look at the offense on paper, it definitely shouldn't be 32nd in the league. Especially with the amount of months like Carlos Hyde in the backfield. Yeah. He was pretty much healthy. I mean, he missed a few games, but I mean, he was healthy for I think he played 12 or 13 games. And also, by the way, was on my championship fantasy football roster for the Massachusetts on one of my leagues. But he was the only Niner worth owning. He was a workhorse. I think that if he would have had half the decent offensive line in front of him, he could have gotten even twice as many yards or definitely had better performances, and they could have controlled 4 games. But, it all starts up front from a former offensive line like Ron and myself. You got to have that chemistry with the 5 guys in front of you, or it doesn't matter who you put back there unless your name's Barry Sanders. I think he was the only one in my lifetime that I ever saw, with a horrible offensive line in front of him to run the ball over the place. But outside of that, didn't live up to any potential at all.
So my last question for you, Andy, with the show is, now that the coach is gone and you're pretty much going to restart over and reset the book on the 49ers now, do you look to a coach to come in and revamp the offense a little bit, or do you want a defensive coach to come in? I mean, personally, I think you need a defensive guy, but where do you see it going? Do you want a defensive guy to come in, or more of an offense to kind of tweak what's there now?
Well, I think that, traditionally, I think the Niners have more success running the ball, even with all those days of Frank Gore and kind of running the ball front first and then play action and short dink and dunks, with every once in a while a shot over the top. That's kind of traditionally what I think. And of course, the days of Montana, but they had to reset the offense. The days of Alex Smith, we reset the offense 7 times in a row, 7 years in a row. They had 7 offensive coordinators. So it's really hard to kind of gel in chemistry and catch on to one thing when you're hitting the reset button every year. So that's another reason why I hope they decide an established guy to a long-term contract, at least 3, 4, 5 years or so, and let him build a little bit of a dynasty. It took 7, 8 years to get back to an elite status, and then all of a sudden it just kind of blew up and drops off real fast. I look back at the days of when the Miami Dolphins hired like Bill Parcells as the director of player personnel, or somebody that just really understood players and the relationship with them. And as the owner, just kind of step aside and let the professionals and the experts be experts. That's kind of my take on the whole thing. It's kind of delegate. What I'm sure you have other things that you could be doing with your day. Get somebody that knows what they're doing and has done it a long time, without trying to minimize mistakes moving forward.
Do you think Chip Kelly ever sees another NFL head coaching job?
I think for his sake, I would try to go back to college and let's say that's a mistake, and I think that a college team is more amped to pay him. I think possibly his offense is quite different, than more fit at a collegiate level than it does at a professional level. As we kind of saw, is that that read option thing is kind of over and figured out. A little bit more so in the NFL, but people are and players are way faster. So it doesn't work as well as it does at a collegiate level. I think he needs to have to flex his game plan a little bit, or maybe go out to one of those conferences that throw the ball over the place and have more of a spread and traditional run and shoot offense rather than a more of a run game and a play action game.
Well, we will see. It's going to be an interesting offseason for the 49ers to see who coach they put in and reset the button. Thanks for. I was
going to say we're going to end on a positive note.
Oh. Okay.
Positive note about the 49ers. They did finish 4th in the league in rushing yards per game, so good job.
Yeah, not bad. I thought you got to lean off of that. As long as he stays healthy, I think they got to, they can only really go up, but I think that's the game plan. Key on him, maybe get a nice spell back out of this draft, and somebody else that can be a little more flashy than him, and let him be the workhorse. And obviously you have to have some kind of receiving threat to open up so people don't just stack the line.
Yes.
And have to be two-dimensional.
It's always nice to see Brian as the bright point of the sports box,
Absolutely.
being a bright positive hope.
Yeah.
It doesn't come often, but when it does, it's a beautiful thing. So anyway, that's all the time we have for our San Francisco, the firing of Chip Kelly. We want to thank Anthony for getting on the line. Excuse me, Andy, for getting on the line.
Where's your mind?
Oh, shut your mouth. For Andy for getting on the line today from San Francisco and helping us out today, Andy. We appreciate it as usual, pal.
Thanks for having me, Mike. Appreciate it. Always fun being on the show.
Absolutely. And again, congrats to your beautiful daughter and your family. Take care of yourself. Happy New Year. And we always love talking to you. We're going to talk to you more in the off season because obviously San Francisco will be in the news. I'm sure of that. So.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. I'll keep up on it. We'll talk soon.
Attaboy. That's all the time we have. Keep an eye out. We always have good things coming.
And as we mentioned on the start of the show, we're all over social media. We're on Twitter at SportsBox Show. We're on Facebook at SportsBox Show. You can email us at thesportsboxshow@gmail.com. And of course, the blowing up subscriber count of the YouTube channel is astronomical. Join the party.
Blowing up like Iraq. That's right, folks. The Sports Box. Remember,
he really went there, didn't he?
I kind of did. Yeah, that's all right. Everybody loves us out there. Remember, at the Sports Box, the only opinion that matters. Right here, baby. Thanks for watching. See ya.
Don't forget to subscribe.